That's right, I have the OLED G9. Let's talk about it.
Before that, this video is brought to you by VIPCDKdeals.com. CDK Deals is a website dedicated to getting you the best prices on games and software, and right now you can get a Windows 10 Pro OEM key for an insanely low price. Just find the best price and apply my special discount code GPC20 for an additional 30% off. You can also check out securely with PayPal, and once the payment is cleared, you should get access to the code both in your account as well as in your email. In order to activate the new copy of Windows 10, just search Activate under Windows and type in your key. So if you want to learn more, be sure to click the link in the description below.
Okay, so behind me right now is the Samsung OLED G9, and guys, this could definitely be the best monitor on the market right now. The question is, should you buy it considering the price, which we'll talk about in just a second, but let's go ahead and do an unboxing, and I'll give you guys my first impressions to get an idea of just how good this monitor truly is. The moment we've all been waiting for. Ooh, almost gave myself an injury already. Now, as you can see, this is a really, really large monitor, and it does come with its own stand, it appears, as well as a VESA mount adapter, but I'm gonna move all the accessories out of the way. All right, now that we have that put together, let's go ahead and attach it and set this bad boy up. This is a ridiculously large monitor. I gotta make a thumbnail face. Oh, guys, don't get this monitor, it's too big. Okay, so here we are on the desktop, and I can already see an issue. It's on eco mode, so clearly there's a few things that need to be changed in the menu. Let's do that real quick and see if we can get this thing to be significantly brighter. So let's move it over to the standard mode, and immediately it got a lot brighter. So make sure you do that when you get this display, as that's gonna make a big difference. Now, if you wanna see a full review of this with every single little measurement that you would possibly want, I will have that link in the description below on the channel, The Display Guy. So make sure you go check that out for a full review. But for now, we're just gonna do a real quick couple of changes. Contrast enhancer, I don't want that on. That totally messes up the image. I'm also gonna turn it to static tone mapping. So those are some real quick settings you can do, but if you want to see, full calibration, I will have that on my Patreon when I do a full review of this on The Display Guide. Now let's go ahead and take a look, how bright does this thing really get? Okay, so here we are in the HDR Test program. I got my tool to, test it, and let's go ahead and do just that. Now, it is closer to the D65 white point, so it might not be as bright as if you left some of those settings on, but it did get, it looks like, around 482 nits in a 10% window, and all of the settings are set correctly, so it might require some adjustments in some secret menus to get higher, as that's actually a little bit less than I was hoping for. But full screen, it's actually getting 270 nits, which is very impressive for an OLED monitor. But now let's go ahead and take a look at a game. Okay, so here we are in Halo Infinite, and I decided to choose this game because it has pretty good ultra-wide support, and it also typically does a pretty good job with HDR as well. So I thought it'd be a good option to show you guys what this looks like when you're playing a game. So while we go ahead and run around in this game, I just want to talk real quick about why this display is so important. So not only does it have a glossy screen, which allows you to see all these really vibrant colors at the, best vibrancy and contrast ratios you could possibly get, as well as the best clarity you could possibly get out of a monitor like this, but we've had that before on their other monitors. The big upgrade with this one over stuff like the OLED G8 or the Alienware AW3423DW is that, this monitor brings the refresh rate from 175 Hz all the way up to 240 Hz. It also, on top of that, should be, I believe, using their second generation quantum dot OLED panel. Now, what this means is it could, in theory, potentially have less risk of burn-in. It could, in theory, get brighter. Now, as we saw during that test, it is really going to depend on what firmware they're using, but it also can have a better pixel layout, allowing for less color fringing, which was a major issue on their first display. Not only that, but honestly, guys, these second generation quantum dot OLED panels, they just look absolutely gorgeous, and I think they're a good improvement over their first generation counterparts. Now, although this is using a glossy finish, you might notice that in a bright room, it won't be quite as good looking in a dark room, because unfortunately the finish they chose to use, if light hits the screen, it suffers from something people call raised black levels. And unfortunately what that means is you are probably gonna be much better off using this display in a darker room or somewhat controlled environment, versus trying to use it in something that, you know, is a really light room, as that is going to cause some issues. But as you can see right now, there's a weird graphical glitch going on, which who knows, maybe that's because of the super ultra wide resolution. But as you can see, it looks really great even with the lights on. But if you guys do want to see, I can turn the lights off real quick for you. There's a lot of these grunts running around with grenades, but as you can see, this gives you a little bit better of an idea of how bright this screen can really get. I still do have one light on over there, so that is gonna wash it out a little bit still, but as you can see, it's definitely a very good looking monitor. And when I look at this straight on, you know, it gets very bright. It looks fantastic. Now, I will say the jury's still out, but this could technically be the best monitor money could buy at the moment. Now, I still think the 55-inch S95C is better than this because it has a better resolution and it gets brighter. But for a somewhat more reasonable size, this actually kind of makes a lot of sense. Now, what doesn't make sense is, oh geez, they're trying to kill me again. What doesn't make sense about this display is its price. It is, I believe, $2,200. This is just a very, very, very expensive display. And no matter how good it is, it's really hard for me to recommend something that expensive in today's market right now. It's just a little wild to be asking people to drop $2,200. Now, they were giving you a gift card for a while too for 250 bucks, but that's no $2,000. So is it really, really good? So far, yes. It does need a lot more testing. Can we potentially unlock it to get brighter? We'll have to see. But at that price point of $2,200, I don't think a lot of people are going to be picking this up. But that being said, it is a really, really good monitor, and I have been enjoying using it quite a bit.
If you made it to the end of the video, be sure to drop a like. Every time you do so, AMD and Nvidia release new GPUs. Also, if you want to see more, check out one of these related videos. You won't be disappointed.